I'm telling you, bro, by the time like end of year, but especially going into next summer, your boy is going to be like ready for some like 40 photo shoots.
Hello, sir.
Hey.
How you holding up, Pat?
Really good, to be honest.
That's good. That's good, Pat.
Yeah.
I won't take up much of your time because I'm sure you've got stuff to do today. But so I spoke with Springfield yesterday, and it seems she's kind of made it clear to me that she's been trying to pick up the pieces when it comes to, because of this whole McAllister thing. She's been trying to pick up the pieces on the Faceless investigation, and she's put me on to Ian Crawford.
She's went to pick up the pieces? That's not alarming, surprising.
Yeah, she said that she hasn't really been involved, but now that she's started,
I see.
Yeah. I had a few questions about Ian, and part of the reason this has come up, and I'll be honest, I don't really care whether I can tell you this or not, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Last night, there was an incident at the morgue. Faceless assets seemingly broke in, stabbed a couple guards, knocked out another one, and then they hacked into the computer system at the morgue just to print off a document. The document they printed off, Andre Tyson and friends. So Faceless.
And who? Andre Tyson and who?
It was. I don't know whether we confirmed the other people, but I think Carmela might have been one of them suspected.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So I don't know whether we got the other people. We didn't catch them or anything. But upon investigation, Springfield reprinted what they printed out. And it was a post-mortem examination for Ian Crawford from 2022.
Right, when he was supposedly killed.
Right, so obviously this is
May
all
I
new
see
to
this?
me. I don't have it physically.
I feel like by seeing it physically, I can provide information.
I mean, to be fair... Oh, go on.
1 second. What's going on, boss?
Hey, Mr. Knight, you okay?
Yeah, how can I help you?
Oh no, I was just trying to call you. I was trying to call you yesterday. Watch out! There is, you know, the Free Pass and Carmela. They look you for revenge or whatever, you know, little Faceless related stuff we are doing to them.
I just met the Faceless like 10 minutes ago.
Wait, what? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was talking to Andre. Charlie was on the phone too.
Oh. Hey, Andre, he's still alive? Oh my God.
Yeah, apparently PD let him go after asking questions about me, even though he planted the bombs. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it, Knight. What is happening? I'm gonna lie.
Okay, well, you know, it is what it is. I mean, all that pressure's off me. I'm in the middle of something. I'm having a chat with Dark.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
No worries. I'm hanging up right now.
Okay.
I'm good to hear you good.
All right.
I
I
take care,
appreciate
Knight.
it. All right. Bye. Yeah, that's why I called Rhodes, by the way.
Yeah, that's, was Andre not, did he have any, was he okay with you? Or?
They recognize me as a necessary evil from their POV. And, you know, in his own words, they released me like a gangbanger, so I guess... Listen, Dark, you know how the world is, right? If these guys don't have pressure, what's left? Right?
Yeah, we're not
and
wrong.
when the guy who I supposedly assisted in torturing is having a casual conversation with me, and then Charlie's on the phone with him, and he's releasing information about his questioning to me very freely without prompt, and then tells me after they asked me, they released me without, they released me like a typical gangbanger And they didn't care that I planted the bombs at the prison, helped kill Cassie, and escape the prison and still have charges. And then I said, was this when Clark went to ICU? I learned that yesterday evening from Apple. He said, no, that was later that day. Everything is that's why I said everything is fucked. That's why I started the phone call the way I did earlier, because I just gotten out of that conversation.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I only came back after a short break like yesterday, and it's like coming back to World War III. It's not great, but I'm trying to put my focus on something that might get us some answers and try and get ahead of things, and I think Ian Crawford might fit into that puzzle. But yeah, so obviously you know a lot of this stuff already, but yeah, they for whatever reason, and this is the thing that kind of surprises me. The Faces clearly know that Ian Crawford, his death was faked 4 years ago, or whatever. But why are they sending people to go and print off evidence of that? Pretty much.
Can I see it?
What way do you think would be best for that?
I think you should show me a physical book so that you don't have some bullshit
it's not.
investigation.
We don't have it. I don't think there is a physical book.
You could email it to me. So
okay, I have to scan.
Maybe yeah. Or you know what? Put it in a document and share it. That's probably the best way.
Right.
Which, by the way, I got to look at my contracts.
I will say that it's very clear and cut on here. Like it's they didn't hide it very well. But I'll let you read it for yourself.
Well, I got my subpoena. You reminded me I had to look at something.
What's your state ID? Yeah.
1130. I'll look at it afterwards.
But there we go. Could be 3 scans. So.
Let me see. The one that says Brian?
Yes, sir.
Do you open a browser on this? I'm excuse me. Web browser. It's just taking me a second to load these up.
That's okay. There's no rush here.
Hey, Snow.
Good day. Are you good? Do you want me to call you back?
Just having a chat with Dark.
Okay. I'll call you back.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Honey, you're interrupting my secret meeting.
What?
I'm on a mission.
I didn't hear you.
I'm just trying to get some info from Brian.
Rhodes, he's leaking the information to me.
What?
I don't.
It's true.
I'm only fucking with you, Dark. Sorry.
No, I'm well aware that I might have to ask forgiveness for this, but I really don't care right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not actually. I'm being facetious.
Okay.
He's for transparency's sake, he is having me review some files from yesterday, given my subject expert ness on the Faceless.
Got it.
Standard biological verification requirement. Yeah, it's such a fucking... Okay, so let me provide a little bit of context, and I still need to better analyze this because I'm of the same mind as you as to the why. Ian Crawford oh boy.
Let me preface this with, today for a few hours, I've gone through pretty much every report we have with the help of Springfield's tool,
Yeah.
so keywording Crawford, and kind of built a bit of a profile for him. So I have a pretty good overview.
Make sure that is not disseminated to the masses.
It's Theta. I've been given Theta clearance.
I also understand a bunch of bozos have access to that, and that's the dangerous thing. Let me kind of give you where the concerns come from so that you understand where I'm coming from. Luckily, Snow mentioned to me yesterday about something pertaining to an individual that's in the Faceless, who is effectively forced to do their bidding. And there is a medical situation that is leading to that. And I'm being vague intentionally here because I'm valuing the individual situation, right?
Okay.
There is nothing we can do today. Months and months from now, an opportunity may arise that can help him out. But anything that we attempt to do today would be his certain death, right? And much brighter minds than any one of us or in PD have already tried, right? And luckily he came to me about it, and I mentioned, don't say a word because you might as well just kill him, right? Ian is a similar subject, right? It's on that same plane of confidentiality.
Right.
Not because of the how am I trying to say this? Not because he is under threat, but because of the danger that he is and the difficulty to acquire information on him. So half of our information on him is not really in reports. And this isn't for any other reason other than, as with many things Faceless, there are the material that we receive, there are the situations that occur, but most of the wrapping, most of the foil that connects it together is via observation and subjective theory crafting, for lack of a better word. Okay. And when I say conversation, I mean a good part of my job has been speaking with those that also have information. Because just as we acquire information as law enforcement on the Faceless, as do other entities throughout San Andreas. This has been the cusp of why I wanted to bring people together. Whether it's people from New Babylon who know quite a bit about the Faceless and have material that we do not have. Why even the besties have information that we have not acquired. And sort of the paradigm that I've tried to had bannered under was, if we do not come together and put this information on the table together, we'll never truly understand the threat we're under. Does that kind of make sense? Like, we all have the pieces, but you can't see what those pieces look like unless you put them together. Ian is at the peak of this. Now, I know what I said here is a bit contradictory because I said keep it close, but also talk to people. But the talking to people needs to be pointed, right? Ian Crawford initially came onto our radar, I would say back in November. Maybe no, January.
With the Wilson King.
Wilson King, yes. He was the logistics manager down at Buccaneer Docks for Darkstone.
Yeah.
It was, if I recall the book, Wilson was a target. He was executed by Brandon Valentino. Brandon was arrested for that.
Yeah.
Ian was also a target. The book title, I believe, was Follow the Noose. Follow the Money, Get the Noose, number 3. Is that right?
I'll be right back. I think it was either 3 or 4, yeah.
Okay. So the presumption here was Ian Crawford is just some guy, right? Just like Wilson King.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was being moved at the time was logistical devices for the Faceless. This went hand in hand with a series of Darkstone transports that had transpired over the month, some of which were attacked by the Faceless, some of which the Babylonians also tried to intercede to stop the Faceless. They were arrested. In fact, I believe Lang Buddha and company shot me down because of my clothes. I remember Lang being like, "Why is he dressed like a gangbanger?" Well, you didn't sound like that, but
yeah, I get you.
So,
well, this is the thing. I've been going through this stuff as well.
I have ACDC and autism, and I can
Okay.
literally paint you a photo, but I have to like really focus here.
I get you.
So we at the time did not know. We didn't expect him to be anything other than that. However, shortly thereafter, we started to get inferences, and I say inferences like, you know the Faceless, they talk in weird code and shit, right? And communications with the Oracle via Blake Cole, suggesting Ian Crawford, there was more to him. He started to follow me. Randomly. He started to follow others randomly. I tried to arrest him. Why? Because the fact that he was not caught by the Faceless at the time made me speculate that he was a part of why the Faceless managed to succeed. Mind you, Dark, every fucking time Darkstone would try to transport something, and there was like a dozen of these situations. Even when we succeeded against all odds, it was like 2 days later, their logistics led to the Faceless, like, fucking capturing whatever. Like, for example, the logistics core in which the second transport was over the water, but somehow the Faceless knew to blow it up at a certain spot and send people in. Right?
Yeah.
So I went to arrest him. As I chased him down, he grappled. I tried to jump and follow. He jumped into the river of Cassidy Trail, started swimming westward, and then off in the fucking distance as I'm trying to get some fucking backup, a Darkstone helicopter took off with him. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I put a gun in Delta 1's mouth. I told him, what the fuck are you doing? Mind you, at this point, and even before this, I started to have suspicions over what Darkstone was doing. They'd actually given Miguel O'Marion a bomb to blow up the Epsilon building at one point.
What the fuck? Wait, that was there?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Now, what I'm saying right now might make you feel a certain way, but look, I'm going to be honest with you, Dark. Sometimes I got to do shit. I didn't do the Andre thing. I want to make it clear. If I did torture someone, it'd be someone that doesn't just tell us everything, right? That'd be fucking pointless. But I put a fucking gun in Delta 1's mouth. My reason for that wasn't anger. My reason for that was I needed answers. And I needed him to understand I was fucking serious and I was willing to throw everything away. Mind you, this is a entity that is directly backed by the state and the Oracle. Now, before we go bring this any further, only because the state is some like colloquial like term that gets interpreted by a million different individuals. There is the state, and then there are state representatives, right? The state is our government, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is no like fucking necessary round table where they all slap asses and make a decision together, right? Maybe they do sometimes, but I'm just painting that out just so this conversation isn't drive you crazy, right?
No, I get what you're saying.
Darkstone has been doing things outside of our direct control, our knowledge, but arriving at probable cause and the value that they brought, it wasn't worth, breaking that truce. There was no option, right? There was no alternative.
Sure.
That's when Delta One told me that him and Charlie used to work together. This is probably back when they worked in a company called Blackridge Capital, which came before Darkstone, backed by Victor Blackwell. In this conversation, Delta One told me that he was assigned to kill Ian Crawford. Charlie had told me separately that he had thought Ian Crawford was dead.
Huh.
Delta One had lied to him. That was a big part of maybe why they separated. Blake Cole was surprised to find out that he was alive and told me that he hadn't heard that name in years, but to stay clear, because that man, and I'm paraphrasing here, was kind of like Littlefinger, had his finger in everyone's pie.
That's the vibe I'm getting, yeah.
Ian Crawford assisted us in saving one of the FIB agent's daughters, but subsequently also Amanda Miller. But also subsequently in other cases clearly assisted the Faceless. In fact, he was on Faceless Island. He gave
Really?
Charlie Jones something. A book I seized off her. Excuse me.
What was your book?
Ian Crawford also has been casing the courthouse, sending photos of it on Twitter.
Okay.
Ian Crawford, by my best estimation, and in fact, let me take a bit of a step back here, Dark. There is a lot of confusion as to who the Faceless is, the Darkstone is, investors are, etc., because I think we're so tuned to looking at things as black and white and as this entity versus that entity, good versus evil, G.I. Joe versus Cobra, that really truly understanding what is going on, and I shouldn't even say it that way because we're never going to fully know, but to have somewhat of an idea of what is going on requires the following understanding. Mind you, what I am telling you here is my best effort of explaining it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the veracity of this is, it's everything combined, and here's what I think is occurring, right? The investors 3 years ago, they opened the gates of this island, likely took on massive debt, placed that debt unto us. We are to repay that debt. That debt likely paid off. what was the value, just like any other investment company, like a fucking, think of us like a South African mine, right? And Elon Musk at plus 11
Yeah.
sitting at the top, right? We produce and they gain, just like every other investor, right? They're looking to garner benefit, monetary benefit, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one needs to have power over the island unless that power is to produce some sort of wealth. We don't export anything, Dark. What is it that we do produce? Knowledge. We are like a fucking incubator. We are a test tube. Skynode. Skynode has been watching us for about 2 years. And expanding. Data from the sky, how we work, how the PD operates, how gangs operate, how we spend our money, why things went to shit when this experiment went the way that it did. That data is sold to countries, to leaders, to people looking to overtake their parts of the world. That was the sales proposition. Of the investors, 2 of them, and when I say 2 of them, it doesn't mean individuals, but entities, right? One being the Blackwell family, the second being the Dravens, had a hostile takeover. Their plans, as documented in one of the books, started about 2 years ago, shortly after the Constitution. This underlinedly goes against their messaging about them coming in as saviors because we're corrupt. No, it started after the Constitution. It started in Polito with Edgar Brandon and Mr. Blue and Skipper. In here, the first phase is like encroachment. The second phase was fucking the guns, fucking escape Dread Torrent, yes, which causes the destabilization, which is where Darkstone comes into play, which is where Faceless comes into play. They are both tools. You get my meaning?
Yeah, so you think like Dread Torrent was there to almost like add to the experiment to see how things how we reacted there?
It was because because we were pre-planned that once that information is garnered, they need to restart.
Okay.
Right. You sell, but we'll actually get there, and this will kind of explain. Going back, you have the investors, right? They're making money. You have 2 of the investors wanting to take the entire pie. Their plan starts 2 years ago. The Blackwell family, via Victor, is brought in among the rest. They implore the Faceless. Some of the investors may be in the Faceless. For others, it's just a tool, right? The Faceless's abilities as a tool, as a entity, is to wipe civilizations. Like a hard restart. Like, think of like the fucking Matrix, right? Except with like in the physical world. The way that they got control and the way that they garner control was through Dread Torrent. Because Dread Torrent created the instability. It was then, with Darkstone coming in, the fuel to the Faceless's fire. Think about it. A year and a half ago, there wasn't fucking fighter planes in the air, right?
True.
Look at it now.
Yeah.
It creates a destabilizing force because now you need more cops. And now gangs got bigger guns. And now there's fucking military planes. There is a demand and increased government control and pushback. Now, don't even take my word for it. It's all documented in the book we got from the Echelon raid. Then, stage 3. I don't remember what stage 3 was, but then stage 4 is what's happening now. Is once everything is fucked, they start blowing up things, allowing a savior to come. And then comes stage 5, which is reinforcing. And that reinforcement takes the island from a place that was, say, 12 investors down to 2. The 2 that had planned to take over the island, because think about it like a stock that's burning, right? Like the Apple CEO got caught like doing some crazy shit. The stock tanks, right? The hedge funds sell it off. They sell it for 50%. And then the other 2 that had planned all of it come in and scoop it up. And then they hide in the background as everything else in the as it's burnt right up. Night.
Hello.
Hey, could you give me 30?
Okay. Call
Right.
you back in 2 hours.
No, it's going to be 30. God damn it. Now, the reason I told you all this, Dark, and I know that was a lot of info dump, Ian Crawford is a part of that picture. I suspect he is the architect. He is the individual that will help with that transitionary phase.
When you say the architect, I've heard that thrown around as like being the architect, like an actual individual in the Faceless.
I know. If you look at the Faceless like a tool and Darkstone like a tool, and the investors utilizing the tool, some of which are in and some of which aren't, because keep in mind, Darkstone has investors. Faceless has investor control, but those strings are not clear and obvious. And even the state is involved. And that's what's made some of this retelling very complicated, because of the confusion as to what the state actually is. For some, the state is some particular person that signs things, but that's not it. It's bigger than that.
Okay, where do you...
So now your
Hollow
question
Trust.
says, what does this come into play?
Yeah.
Because just as the Faceless plan, so does something else. And that something else is Ian. And maybe not Ian, but whatever Ian is a part of.
Okay.
This probably
That the
leaves you
Hollow
more...
Trust,
No.
is the Hollow Trust like just one of the investors, you think? Or is it the whole umbrella?
That is a bigger entity. The Faceless are like steer off of the Hollow Trust. Just as the Order of the Shadows steers off of the Hollow Trust. Just as Victor Blackwell is connected to the Hollow as a financier. And as a ex-financier of Blackridge Capital, which turned into Darkstone.
Okay. Okay, I have lots of questions, obviously, but I will try and...
I'll give you a direct answer. Why are they looking into this? Because they don't understand how Ian is still alive, and Charlie wanted me to kill him if he dies. Because he said Ian is more dangerous than the Faceless.
But Ian's been, like, openly walking around, like, giving people his ID and everything. You said he's been plotting out. So why... he's not exactly hiding.
I don't know. Who's to say this Ian Crawford is not one of many? What if Ian died, but he didn't die? What if that is even Ian? Keep in mind, we know less about that thing than we do about the Faceless. So even what might be simple questions. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
So in the post-mortem, there's a few things. Obviously, it says the instructions were given by Darkstone to not actually confirm it was Ian Crawford. So they basically confirmed that it was them who faked the death. And then the operational thing on this is Dead Man, Operation Dead Man. Does that mean anything to you, or has it come up before? I mean, it's pretty obvious what it means, but just in case it's come up before.
The only thing that we can say with a level of certainty is that the Hollow called the order, and that order was dismissed. And now Delta One works for an entity, and Charlie works for an entity, so one can presume that whoever made Delta One fake the death is an entity that we just simply do not know about yet.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. From what I've gathered, like you said, this guy seems to be a bit of a little finger. So you got these FIB documents, and in the FIB documents, it states that he was an FIB system analyst 4 years ago.
Yep.
It talks about like these anomalies or whatever's going on with that. Did we ever get clarity on that, or any more clarity about what that was?
A negative. I mean, it could be some like fucking time travel shit, which by the way is real.
Time travel?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the most shocking thing I've heard, let's be honest.
Yeah, I went back in time.
Okay. Did you do anything good for us? Did you kill Charlie? Where's your baby?
It was the day before Charlie was kidnapped by the besties.
Okay.
Because I was told before I knew that happened that I needed to be able to see something from a camera, no context, but I couldn't grind out everything. So I worked with Lando Corp to go back in time, which I did, and ended up in Polito. Everyone is so confused how my blip was all over the place. But I spent about 6 months trying to convince the boss down at the news station to give some of us access to law enforcement access to, you know, some of his technology. So, but that probably sounds like bullshit because you've always had it, at least from your lens.
Okay. Well,
Springfield saw this happen.
I believe you. Okay. Right. So then you guys had a conversation with Delta One, which included that Delta One said he was part of the Holo Trust, right? Well, it was THT, but he didn't know it was the Holo Trust, right?
Yes. And a part of it is like might be overstating. He could have worked for or contracted for, right?
Right. What I'm trying to figure out here is Ian Crawford's timeline, because it's a bit messed up. So 4 years ago, he was part of FIB. These anomalies happened. He already raised concerns about the security of that, and then he seemingly quits and falls off the face of the earth. Then you've got Delta One part of THT. You told Delta One that Crawford was also working for them at some point, that Delta One was surprised about. Now, I spoke...
Charlie was surprised that he was alive. Delta One is the one that faked his death.
Yeah. But I can speak to... I trust you guys because I think they trust you as well, Brian. When I spoke to Nora and Frank, they had some information that when Delta One and Charlie used to work together under what it was Blackridge, they had an incident in New Jersey. Have you heard about this, sir?
Yep, what's happening here happened in New Jersey. New Jersey was nuked. Well, it wasn't nuked. It was like metaphorically nuked.
Right, so they fucked it all up and then trying to do the same
and
thing.
And then rebuilt it. Okay. Yep.
Right, and apparently Ian Crawford was the one who gave them the order to go and do that, or something along those lines.
Where do you see that?
Well, this is the thing. This is what they told me when I asked them about how, because they brought it
Who's
up,
them?
and I was like,
wait, who? What?
This was Nora and Frank.
Oh, keep in mind that might be a theory.
Of course, sure.
I don't think Ian Crawford ordered New Jersey, but it's possible. I'd have to see.
I think they said he was more of like, he was the guy on the radio, not necessarily the person actually making the order. Regardless, it's not a big point.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it would be a big point because that would infer that Ian Crawford is making orders for the Faceless, which that just based on my knowledge of everything else, that doesn't really fit. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm very curious what sources lead up to that.
I want to have another conversation with them to clarify after I've spoken to you. But what is interesting about that theory is that the death certificate you've just seen, the post-mortem, was done in Newark, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And it was done 4 years ago.
Correct.
Which adds up with the time frame. Okay, so you don't... Yeah, so they...
I think... I'm going to tell you. So the answer to this, because I don't know why this didn't clue into me, is because the Faceless never told Charlie what happened to Ian, and Ian Charlie, not necessarily the Faceless, probably told them to do this. You have to understand that Charlie sometimes directs these assets and not Mr. Blue, and Charlie is a dead man. I mean, think about it. Charlie quite literally asked me to kill Ian in case he dies. I've had very intimate conversations with Charlie. Shit's like, you know what I mean? Like the I mean, fuck, this action might even get Charlie killed by Mr. Blue. I don't think the Faceless would need this information. I think Charlie does.
Yeah, I don't think so either, yeah. Okay, next question. In a report you made, and I think, let me double check who you were talking to, but in here it references that Ian Crawford may be referred to as Ghost. Does that
can I give a... Oh, wait. After he comes back, I got to give him a dump while it's fresh in my head.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry, no, go ahead. While he's
yeah, you in the March summary report, you put in about Ian Crawford. You put in that he may be referred to as Ghost. Do you remember where you got that information from?
I believe it's the Victor Blackwell book that we received 1.5 years ago. But I'm sort of guessing. I think that's where the term Ghost was.
That's kind of why I bring it up, because the term Ghost was in the Victor Blackwell book. You said it was like a bunch of money to Hollow Trust, in brackets, Ghost. So
that may have been speculation at the time, and that point in time, based on the information we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But perhaps something I would at this stage possibly renege on, knowing more. You know, having known more. In fact, I would more likely think Ghost is a Faceless operator akin to like fucking Eagle and Charlie and you know all these other names. Let me give Rhodes hey Rhodes.
Hey.
You on the phone?
Sorry, I just got off the phone.
Okay, I wanted to, because I know Dark's probably got a bunch of things, but I want to be sure to give you just I already told this to Moss, but I want to make sure I'm like reporting this. Not only because it benefits me, but I don't want to get alleged that I'm
just know that I'm going to try to record everything or write down everything you say word for word.
Or you can record it.
That works. I'll do both.
Okay.
All right. Set my phone to record there. Hit me with it.
Approximately an hour. Oh, approximately 1.5 hours ago, or maybe 1 hour and 40 minutes ago, with the time right now being 3:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8/20/2025. I was at the Vanilla Unicorn. I got pulled over by James Molding, and not when I say pulled over, like pulled up on, and we're just talking. He's like, "Hey, are you suspended?" and blah blah blah. And he's like, "Well, what are we gonna do now?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And it turned into a like, "Who's gonna arrest me?" And then it turned into like a like it was a whole like little bit of banter. That's when Andre Tyson pulled up, and he started a conversation with me. Now, mind you, Andre Tyson is the individual that I'm being alleged I handed to the besties and subsequently was tortured. In this conversation, Andre told me.
Give me 1 second. This is likely an important phone call.
Yep.
Hello? Okay. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Appreciate the heads up. Nothing's happening. I clarified that with whoever brought it up. Yeah, don't worry. Nothing's happening regarding that, so we should be good. All right, sounds good. Have a good one. Bye. Brian, I don't know how you've done this for so long. I hate being pulled in a million directions. I want to be able to just focus on one thing, and it becomes impossible.
I mean, this isn't a one thing job, you know?
I know. I'm aware.
So Andre pulls up.
So just you ended on, mind you, Andre Tyson's the individual that you're alleged to have handed over to the best.
Yes. So Andre pulls up, and he gets to talking. I'm thinking like, oh, is he like, where is this gonna go? We get to talking, and he's like, so are you like suspended? Are they gonna fire you? I'm like, hey. And then before I can even really answer, he goes on to state that he was pulled into a room, asked questions about me. He brought up a phone number that, because Andre in his mind stated he was led to believe I had done this. And he said the reason was
I had done this,
that Brian Knight had done it.
Okay.
And he went on to say, and I said, why, Andre, why would I torture you of all people? You literally tell me everything that you do. You stand on business. And it goes, well, I was told that like you were sent a ping to my location on my burner phone. And I was taken aback by that. I didn't know what he meant. And I said, I looked up Andre on my phone, not realizing at first that he mentioned burner phone. It just, it didn't click. I didn't see anything. I said, what do you mean? It goes, no, my burner phone that I had on me, which he states he received back from Miguel. And so I said, I don't remember any of that. I asked him what the number was. I looked it up. And I also, for reference, I had my logs pulled yesterday, my phone logs, so that I could look at them as well and reference, what's being looked at. I received a ping from the phone number. God damn it. I didn't take a photo. Give me a second here. He gave me the last 4 digits. Here it is. 420-406-9239.
Okay.
When I look at this, it says shared location, location expired, and then I reply with a question mark. I looked this up on my phone records. I sent this question mark 3 hours after this had been sent. It is not until this moment that Andre has brought it to my attention.
Oh, hold on. So just to clarify, when you look at your history, it states shared location, location expired. And when you look up the exact timestamps, because you don't get an exact timestamp, you'll just get like 2 hours ago.
Mhm.
It's a full 3 hours between your question mark and when the location was shared.
Correct. So I brought it up to him. I was like, I don't even remember this. And like, I didn't even know this was your shit. I don't even have this saved. I don't know if there's a way to like get that, but I have never saved this number. Don't even know what the fuck it is. This is literally the entirety of the history. Which kind of makes sense why I would have sent the question mark, because I'm probably doing a billion other things. Went to my text and like, what the fuck is this? Now, we went on to talking, and I said, do you really think I would have done this? And he said, no, of course not. But if I were you, I probably would torture me, which I, let him know that I wouldn't. And, I then said, hey, he then goes on and says, then Charlie calls him. And now there's a conversation between me and Andre and indirectly with Charlie, and in this conversation they bring up, because he's like passing the information along via the phone, that they were able to make the DOJ bend to them and got checkmated. I'm obviously that statement is to my benefit, but I'm also making this clear as to, it's worth fucking pointing out.
Yep.
And Andre goes on to say, now without you in the picture, everything is so easy. He again goes on to say that he was treated like a gangbanger. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, brother, they arrested me. They interviewed me. And then they let me go. To which I was losing my mind. And he goes on to say, I'm like, but you're wanted. And he says, I know. He says he planted one of the bombs in the prison. That they he's surprised that they didn't arrest him because he escaped as an accomplice to enemy of the state from prison. He was in Mission Row PD. He was questioned. He also went on to say, not only did he plant a bomb, but he said that was a good grenade when it came to Cassie. And I said, who did it? And he said, it's hard to say because all these people were shooting her. And then he said, do you want me to end you right now? Now, he didn't mean that as like he was trying to do me a favor type shit. You know what I mean? I said no.
In like a joking manner. Is what you mean, right?
Hey,
you want me to take you out of your misery?
Exactly.
Like that kind of? Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
He also said he'd be down to show up at my interview, and Charlie said he might call in,
Okay.
Oh, and Jeb pulled up in the midst of this as well, and I said, hey, can you give me a second? These are, we're talking Faceless stuff. And then we talked about his situation a little bit, and Jeb was chill about it. So, anyways, I wanted to bring that up primarily because Andre is a point on all this. He is a victim. He didn't kill me. He really doesn't believe I did that shit. You know what I mean? Like, and
Have you been
like, why am I not
interviewed
dead?
yet
No, that's going to be today.
Okay.
It was
There's
good.
a
They tried to do it
scheduling thing?
yesterday evening. We can end the recording, by the way. Whenever you're ready.
There we are. We're good.
I was gonna send Moss. I had a really odd back and forth with Sparks yesterday on this.
Okay.
Pretty much, I woke up yesterday and I had a missed call from Daisy, and a text from Sparks. Obviously, I didn't have any context. It was like, "Are you around?" I responded, "Yeah, what's up? Just woke up." And she said, pretty much, it turned into a whole thing where she wanted me to meet at 6:30, and I'm like, "Hey, I may not be available tonight, but like, I did ask days ago, like, just give me a 24-hour heads up." And it turned into like very like Sag farmy shit, and like I'm doing everything I can do. I don't know, man. It was like a very strange conversation, to the point that I sent it to Moss because it was concerning.
Okay.
I was getting like victim blame for asking for when it's gonna get. Hello?
Hello.
I'm sorry, you're right. I do need more time. Today's going to be really bad because I've got an interview and a million things to do, but I do want to chat with you.
Okay. In the meantime, would
Yeah.
you be able to acquire me a gas can full of gas
I can try to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
and leave it at the station, please?
We'll do.
Thank you.
Bye. Yeah, it was concerning enough that I pulled my records yesterday and I sent Moss the text back and forth. It was a lot of
Was it
she was
giving,
acting like I'm being
sorry,
difficult
it's
for just
this way?
like letting
Or-
like just getting a heads up as to what time,
Okay.
Brother, I can send it to you. That shit was fucking strange as shit.
Brian, I am going to give you a heads up. Actually, Richard, how much did you say about the situation you called me about?
I mean, I told Brian about what happened. What specifically? Did I tell Brian the people involved? Yes.
No, the aspect that was announced to the PD.
I wasn't there for any announcements.
You'd be privy to it. Brian, give me 1 second. I need to know
Yeah.
whether or not he told you this. Not
Okay.
that you're in trouble, but
he's the director.
did you tell him about the call or something?
No, well, no, but he's not stupid.
Okay. Brian. Actually, okay. I'm gonna hesitate to say something. Something occurred yesterday, which prompted another doom and gloom.
Do you have any food?
Okay. I don't. Honey, do you have food?
Sure.
Ooh, thank you.
It prompted another doom and gloom, right? Like, provided directive by the state, and immediately this is not great. That prompted us to do something we haven't exactly done yet. I think we have been playing defense and seeing how the Faceless, continue doing whatever it is they're doing. But this time, considering there really is no other recourse, despite the fact that we now have jets, right? Like, none of that really matters because the tool provided to us by the state is just not great. So today we executed on a plan
This is
to.
I imagine this is separate from what I said about Andre, right?
Yes, but it does affect Andre.
Well, it wouldn't have at the time, right?
Depends on how early your conversation was with him.
It would have been before that. Yeah.
Long story short, Brian,
because
we
others
started-
were collared at that time.
Okay,
And then afterwards, Clark was put into ICU after we apparently murked his ass. Which is a whole nother thing.
Okay. Holy fuck.
You learn so much while being suspended. It's crazy. Pretty much all the people I've been
that's not at all
jailing have been
surprising.
giving me all the tea.
So Brian, right now, we are pretty much on the offense. I don't want to be a reactive. Let's wait and see what they do because we've done that for quite some time.
Be
we just
careful
went
there
through
now,
and
Rhodes. You
all-
might be going too hard. You know what I mean?
Oh no. Oh no. Brian, we locked down all Prio 1 plus some Prio 2 people's properties and vehicles entirely from start to finish.
That's good.
Reason being, it's allowed under martial law. If we have RS to believe that they're assisting or even assisting allies of the Faceless, they're eligible for it, and there's no restriction on time. So until martial law is over, their shit will remain locked down unless we start seeing like notable improvements, which, let's be honest, isn't likely to happen. But what I can tell you is that immediately 3 collared people.
Wait, based on Prio 1 and 2?
Well, it was primarily 1 for today, just a couple of 2, and it's going to extend tomorrow.
So,
but just to clarify, it's just lockdowns. It's not. We're not searching anything. We're not seizing anything.
Oh boy,
it is just lockdowns.
Did you go off the list that we had?
Which list?
The Prio 1 and 2 list.
I'll tell you the full name. Carmela, Andre, Wesley, Oscar, Hassan, Jackson, Brandon, and then Dragon Rush and Julio Frost were put in because of their affiliation with the Crim 169. Why are you saying, oh no? What happened? What happened? Don't say that, Brian. What?
You know, it's not my problem.
Are you fucking with me?
No. I'm trying to... Why are we allowed to be corrupt all of a sudden?
What do you mean allowed to be corrupt?
You're probably doing it by accident, but it's funny as shit. I don't want to say it, man. I feel like...
How is this corrupt? What the fuck?
Okay. I'm being like facetious a little bit, you know, just because.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh boy. Look, man, I don't know what's up and what the fuck is down when people just show up and then just say random shit, right? And this goes back to the confusion that started with Dragon Rush, and I'm just giving you context here, right? And then I'm going to explain why there might be some issues here that might be, I mean, I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, if we need to torture motherfuckers, let's just fucking do it. But we need, like, it needs to be clear whether we're going to be pussies or not be pussies.
Agreed.
Dragon Rush, whom not only has had contact with Charlie, this, that, and the third, tried to break out Carmela and company on behest of the Faceless with fucking Faceless artillery and like warplanes. We were told he doesn't count arbitrarily because he's helping a Faceless asset. He's like 1 point removed, even though, I don't know. I honestly think it was just some retard shit that Angel was saying. But
are you talking about for Prio 1? Like,
no, I'm talking about when we were told that that was wrong and we were violating his rights and shit. And
is this the confusion with martial law and the conversation had amongst
correct.
Like, okay, I get what you're saying. Yes.
And this is in conjunction with conversations that were simultaneously happening 3 days prior with me and these state officials that I operate with. And to be clear, they are state officials. They are not a Faceless asset, if you get my meaning, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so hence, and additionally, I was instructed to wait until further guidance was provided.
Was that ever provided?
Negative.
And they can go fuck themselves.
Well,
as long as I'm aware, we have RS to believe that he assisted.
Yeah, you know, good. Hey, I'm fine with that, but I haven't landed yet, right? I'm just telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you where the clamp came from, right? Because, you know, listen,
hey, for what
if you're getting pulled in one direction, but then pulled in another direction,
yeah,
by you know, hey, I like being around. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, but
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I want to make sure I do the right thing, right? But I'm landing here now. So there was a bit of miscoms around it, but it was like, let's hold a little bit. However, now this comes to the next point. I'd say over the course of the last 4 weeks, the foundation by which Prio 1, 2, and 3 was constructed was an effort about 4 weeks ago that was based on the following principles. Myself, Jenna, Baker, Remy Ironside put together the Prio 1 through 3 list and the uncategorized. The means by which we did it was notating 2 categories. One is past operation and any RS or higher in the last 30 days. Why? Because by the definition and writing of martial law, we need RS. However, RS is still bound by a statute of limitation. There is no throwing away of the statute. The problem, and mind you, and this is why you want to double check this, is that when we put the Prio 1, 2, and 3 together, we did best effort, and there's like a little notation. Actually, I forgot. What's her name? Oh my God, Brandy was involved in this too. There is a icon we put next to the. So when we did 1, 2, and 3, we said this is our best guesses, and then we filled it with the referenced reports because we still need to operate under good faith, which means that we need to we can't do guesswork. Otherwise, you might as well just start. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. And good faith means, and I told this to everybody because this is like I don't care what kind of how big your dick is type shit. And let's be honest, people can swing their dick around, but if they're around like 2 hours a fucking week, it doesn't matter. I'm not referencing Angel, but I mean like other cops that might be now involved, right? Is that we still need to operate in a way where we're saying we believe that while we have RS now, we have a vision and path how to get to PC in 6 weeks, and not assume that the world's going to be over in 2 weeks, right? And I'm saying it because I have to, is that, hey, we'll just lock it and who cares? Because who cares? Do you understand my meaning?
Yeah,
there needs to be a path to conclusion. That is why there is a special icon next to each of the names where we reached that mark. Not every Prio 1 and 2 has the evidence getting us to RS. Why? Because in the last 30 days, or when we initially wrote it, the majority of the Faceless assets that we suspected but did not have reasonable suspicion for had been on Faceless Island. In other words, 2 of the 30-day statute is already out the window. You with me? And
I get what you're
we
saying.
don't even have much evidence that some of these actors even were involved in most of this, other than Brandon and Andre. Why Brandon and Andre? Because we already had charges for them, right? Because of the warrant. Do you see where I'm going with this?
So just to
for
clarify,
example,
the list was referenced, but everyone on the list that we did today in terms of locking down is guilty of some form of accomplice to enemy of the state, or aiding and abetting an enemy of the state, or quite literally, actually, no, none are actual enemy of the state. It's mostly accomplice to enemy of the state across the board, or aiding and abetting.
Okay, so let me ask you a hypothetical then, right? And because just in case my point is sort of being missed here, is DJ Cooper, okay, so there's a couple of scenarios here to think through, right? Because I don't really give a fuck who says what. At the end of the day, we still have to, we're either going to work within the bounds of the law or not, right? Otherwise, what is the rest of the bullshit, right?
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah. Is DJ Cooper, I'm going to go through some examples. Is DJ Cooper someone who we're going to lock down?
I don't know. It's going to depend
the answer
on whether,
would be based on the law. The answer is no, because there is no evidence within the last 30 days that he has.
Clarified with Angel earlier today. The exact quote she gave was, stuff like this is sort of continuing and ongoing in nature, and can be referenced. So specifically, yes, things in excess of 30 days essentially because the Faceless stuff is still ongoing, can be referenced.
However, there's a caveat here because she's imploring a certain clause. I think it's like section 7 of the statute. And you need to be careful here because she's going to say some shit, but she's not going to, she's saying like high level stuff, but it still means you have to utilize it. You know what I mean? Yeah. There is a section for, I think it's on like
ongoing and like continuous, like
correct.
Like
reoccurring that stuff. Still requires evidence of it happening within the last 30 days.
Brian, I'm going to tell you this, pal.
Hey,
I've been doing this long enough, okay? And if I have to fall on the sword for the remainder of PD,
that's what I wanted to hear.
To allow
that's what I'm saying. Which
these
way you
individuals
swing
to
it?
suffer for just a fucking moment, I'll do it. So if it's determined, Brian, that I was incorrect, and I told everyone in Homeland and every officer that was assisting, I will fall on the sword. None of them. They did it with my directive very specifically, and I told them I will fall on that sword if need be. Sue
so listen, so you're
of them.
No, I'm telling you this because you're making that choice. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be honest. If you wanted my honesty, we should be grabbing these motherfuckers and putting them in a black site. Doing any short of that is incompetence. It is negligent.
Well, Brian, we know what happened the last time you did that. There were accusations made.
Yeah, well, those dumb fucks could have literally asked the state officials themselves, and they would have given an answer, but they decided not to for some reason. I can guarantee it came from a higher authority than anyone else in the land. So, except one.
Okay.
So,
fair
so
enough.
I don't know what to say beyond that.
I go with you.
But look, I'm not laying this out to cause turmoil, but to give you context, right? Is some of those people on there there is no evidence of their involvement in the last 30 days. And that needs to be ensured if you want to utilize that clause for your, own sake, in case it gets, they ask about it. And you get my meaning, right? If you do,
Brian,
if you do
I need
5,
you to know, I see the line.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. I don't care if I'm over the line because that's what these people fucking deserve. I don't mean full on corruption, to be very clear. What I mean is these people's recourse.
That is brother. That is corruption. If we are saying that their rights don't matter and we're going beyond martial law intentionally,
it's not good. No, it's not going
listen,
beyond martial law.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to go and start. I'm not going to snitch on you, but like, let's not pretend if we're going to go lock down people's things.
I said exactly what I was going to do to Angel.
Brother, Angel says shit, and then she'll say some other shit like a week later.
And here's the thing. I will fall on that sword. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Stand on that shit.
I'm good.
Hey, if you're going to fuck them up. But like,
Brian,
but you need to be prepared at the same time. You know what I mean?
Within 20 minutes, 3 people turn themselves in for callers. They're all speaking with each other, and seemingly none of them have their own vehicle. In fact, look at Carmela's Trois.
Yeah. Can I ask a second question?
Sure.
Wait, you're saying people that uncollared you're doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but
why didn't you say that? You started the conversation saying everyone on P1 and P2 list, and that's what gave me heart palpitations. Especially the P2 list, so half of it, there's no RS in the last 30 days.
Yes, so,
or anything that would be allowing us to invoke the continued... Okay, that what you're saying now makes significantly more sense.
Let me clarify. In my conversation yesterday with Brooklyn, she asked, do you want me to find everyone who's been found guilty of accomplice to enemy of the state or aiding and abetting enemy of the state or anything of the sort? Everything regarding Faceless, essentially. I said yes. She did that. Obviously, a large portion of them are Prio 1 people, right? She then pulled in.
That's way different.
Dragon Rush.
That is
Julio
way
Frost.
Different than what you initially said.
Oh, if it came across that way, that was my intent.
You said everyone P1 and P2, and that list is huge.
P2 is intended to be looked at, but kind of what you were saying before, we want to ensure that there is sufficient to actually establish them as us having RS.
Like Reggie Might is P2, right?
I will say it blatantly. If that threshold falls outside of that 30-day period, we will still utilize it to justify it.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. Just fucking start locking motherfuckers down, and who gives a fuck?
Brian, it's actually so much more satisfying going to the apartments to call her Carmela, to then watch her twat out. What'd she twat out? Hold on. She said, great, just great.
Chad, don't refresh.
As if it was like, or as if she's like a mean girl, realizing that like her car's not about to start. I got on the phone with her and she goes, my cars, they're locked, they're fence, or they're chained to the fence. I was like, Carmela, why does that even matter? You ain't got a driver's license. And she's like, well, yeah, but they're still locked. I was like, well, nothing's changed for you. There's more to that conversation, but I'm hesitant to say, just because I don't want there to be anything, crazy. I do know that people are going to be twatting about it, so just know that it's going to happen.
I got you. Okay, this sounds less crazy than I initially thought.
And you know what I'm going to tell people when they call and ask why? I'm going to quote the Marshals and You document that's put out that clarifies exactly why that was written. I'm just repeating Angel's words to them with the directive, of martial law. Now that said, I do have to get going, Brian. I'll probably swing back around.
Please do put that report
hours.
up.
I will.
Then I can just pass.
Tell you what, I'm going to go through the recording, write it word for word, so that it's in the report.
Yeah.
And I'll have to do that in about half an hour because I have something to tend to, sort of more immediate, but it will be in a report. Is it good to just be a normal report, or does it have to be?
Corvus, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry
Easy.
to keep bothering you.
No. You're good. So much is happening